Guys, it's my birthday. So for my birthday, my gift to you guys is that I am going to gush for the next 11 minutes because that is how much storage I have left on my phone. I'm going to gush for the next 11 minutes about my favorite movie of all time, Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Now guys, I am recording all of this stuff in one night because my throat is starting to hurt after just doing a lot of talking these past couple days because I had a birthday party yesterday, and I still had someone over today that I was hanging out with, and then I'm doing these videos in the middle of all that, and so my throat does kind of start to hurt a little bit after a while. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but my voice is a little bit scratchy sometimes, but I'm gonna power through it because this is the last video I'm recording tonight, and then I get to take all of tomorrow off, and I don't have to do another video until Wednesday. So let's get into Terminator 2. Terminator 2 picks up quite a few years after Terminator 1, and what's happened is John Connor's a teenager, Sarah Connor's in a psych ward, and the machines have sent another Terminator back in time, but this time they sent it to kill John Connor, and they sent the T-1000, which is able to morph its body into liquid metal. So, just like how they sent Kyle Reese back in the first movie, they also sent another failsafe to protect John from the T-1000. They reprogrammed a T-800 and sent it back in time to protect John Connor, and this T-800 is again played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, who played the T-800 in the first movie, and now he's a good guy. Plot twist that they spoiled in the freaking trailer for the movie. I watched the trailer from 1991, 1990, and they spoiled that in the trailer that he's a good guy now. But guys, let's talk about the cast. Arnold Schwarzenegger as the Terminator is my favorite film character of all time, especially in this movie, because they develop his character a lot more from just being the scary dude that kills people. He actually has a character this time around. He's still a machine, but they switch on his learning mode, and he starts to learn how to be more human from John Connor. And there's a really great moment at the end of the movie when the Terminator, earlier on when John is crying, he asks him what he's doing, what crying is. And then at the end of the movie, after all the stuff that they've been through, after all the things he's learned, he says to him, "I know now why you cry, even though it's something that I can never do." And that is just something really powerful. One of the best things I can say about this movie is that there are some really powerful, impactful moments in this movie that make it deeper than just your standard action movie. It's still a great action movie, but yeah. The action and characters in this movie are great. Definitely a lot better than the Terminator. I love the Terminator, guys, but the Terminator is a slow movie. Terminator 2 is pretty fast-paced, pretty full of action. You can tell that it had a bigger budget and they could do more stuff with it. And guys, I gotta talk about the T-1000. The T-1000, played by Robert Patrick, is one of the most terrifying things ever put to screen. He's a machine of few words, and he's pretty freaking scary and intimidating, and he can warp his limbs into weapons like knives and I don't know, pokey grabby thingies and other stabbing weapons, and it's just freaky. He's really freaking creepy because he never shows emotion. He never, he rarely speaks. He just stalks, and it's really creepy, especially when he is not as physical, he's not as big physically as Arnold Schwarzenegger. So the fact that he is this terrifying, even though physically he is not that imposing compared to Arnold, That's pretty freaking great. And the effects for him are incredible. When he's in the liquid metal form, it is really great. And I loved the evolution of the T-800 character, which I already kind of touched on a little bit. And just the way they turned this scary killing machine from the first movie into, I would almost say, kind of a bit of a tragic character, just because he's programmed to do one thing: protect John Connor. And then as he bonds with John and Sarah, they really do form this little misfit family. And so when the Terminator has to sacrifice himself at the end, it really hits you in the feels quite a bit. And I will say that other than Logan, which just came out earlier this year, this is the only other movie in history that has made me cry. Just think about that. Logan and Terminator 2 are the only movies in history that have made me cry. And it's mainly because of the ending of this one. I love the action scenes in this movie. There are some pretty memorable action scenes. Obviously, the steel mill fight scene, the Galleria fight scene, the truck chase, just all kinds of memorable scenes. The scene when the T-800 first arrives and he walks into the bar, that is one of my favorite character introductions of all time. And then, yeah, and guys, I'm just gonna flat out say it. Terminator 2 is my favorite movie of all time. You guys know this. This is the worst kept secret ever. And there's a reason why. This movie is so... This movie you can enjoy on a shallow level and a deep level, because on a shallow level, it's just a really enjoyable action movie with really good characters and a pretty emotional ending. On a deep level, there is a lot of character and things that aren't flat out stated, and character arcs that are really, really something different. Like Sarah Connor's character arc in this movie, when she finds out about Miles Dyson, who is the person that will eventually create Skynet, she decides to go and try and take him out before Skynet can be created. And it's at that moment when she realizes that she is in a way becoming the thing that she is most afraid of and hates the most. A Terminator. I mean, if you picture it, she really is. She is on a mission to stop at nothing, to destroy this one person, to alter the future. It's pretty similar to a Terminator. And I love the character arc of John Connor in this movie too, because he starts out as this rebellious teenager. He doesn't believe that his mom is right. He thinks she's insane. He's in a horrible spot in life. He lives with foster parents that he doesn't like or even respect. And he probably wishes he could be with his mom, but she's not normal. She believes that there are these time-traveling machines that are trying to kill people. And, you know, by the end of the movie, he has gone through enough that you can see how he will eventually become this strong resistance leader once Judgment Day happens. And I love Edward Furlong as John Connor. He is so freaking great in this movie. And Linda Hamilton does a really good job as Sarah Connor. She was really good in Terminator, but she was great in this movie. She is so different than she was in the first movie, because in the first movie she was just your normal, average, everyday woman. And in this movie, she's doing like pull-ups, push-ups. She's just toting guns around, shooting up places. Just, she's not taking any crap from anyone. It's great. And guys, Robert Patrick, again, I cannot give enough praise as the T-1000. He just makes one of the most memorable cinematic villains of all time. And I gotta say, guys, Arnold Schwarzenegger can be hit or miss sometimes with his roles. Sometimes he can do a really good job with his acting. Other times, not so much. And I gotta say, I think this is his best performance. And guys, I'm running out of time. Terminator 2 gets an A+. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think of Terminator 2, and I will talk to you in the next video.